So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K25 Next Gen. In today's video, we are back with another episode of our Curry era rebuild series, and today it's the Dallas Mavericks. This was a weird time in Mavericks basketball history. Now, they of course have not gotten to the Luka Doncic era yet, that of course is still going on today and has been pretty successful. We are on the latter years of Dirk Nowitzki's career. He is 38 years old, and he is of course no longer really able to lead this team to anything promising. So this was a group that won only 33 games. They were not very good, and then got the 9th overall pick in the draft and used it to select Dennis Smith Jr. So we're going to go ahead today, see if we can turn this thing around, hopefully bring this team a championship. After we wrap up today's video, we only have 6 rebuilds left to go in this series. I have been enjoying it a ton. It seems like you guys have been as well, but I am open to really anything you guys want to see moving forward, whether they're different challenges or they are different rebuild series, historic rebuilds, whatever it is that you guys are really itching to see. Let me know down below in the comment section. Always open, whatever it is you guys are looking for. I am excited for this one today. It is definitely going to be a bit more challenging, which I know you guys definitely enjoy as well. So let's get into it. All right, as I mentioned, this team won only 33 games. The roster is not necessarily super promising, but let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about it, and let's see what we are working with here today. Now, we're going to go position by position, starting out here with 32-year-old JJ Barea, who, you know, as much as maybe Dallas fans want to call him a legend for that 2011 finals run where he was certainly a key contributor to their championship, he's probably not a long-term point guard option for us today, given his age, his overall, everything like that. So he's not a bad option for one season, but I just don't really see him in a starting role, really anything past that. We have a 33-year-old Devin Harris, probably, again, not going to cut it for 3 years of this rebuild, never mind a championship starting point guard, so we'll keep an eye on that. You could ignore, you know, this is obviously a 2K generated player that has just been inserted in here because whoever made the roster wasn't, you know, able to fill it out completely, which is fine because I get what I pay for, which would be nothing. Okay, the shooting guard spot. Seth Curry's 26. We know Seth Curry is not going to turn into a superstar magically, but if he could be a quality role player on this team throughout 3 years, maybe a good shooter off the bench, I think eventually that could be something that I was pretty open to. He's probably never going to be the guy that is really going to impact this team in the way that Steph would, but obviously Seth Curry is a pretty decent NBA player at this point. We have a 30-year-old Wesley Matthews behind him. I'm not sure who I'm going to start between Curry and Matthews. Quite honestly, it really doesn't matter to me. Neither of them are going to start for 3 seasons. You can ignore this. We head to the small forward spot where Harrison Barnes is probably the best player on this team at this point. He's only 24 years old. He's an 80 overall. He led this team in scoring throughout the regular season. And he is a guy that I hope can get better. Right? I mean, at that 80 overall, you think there's some room for growth. He's obviously on a, you know, big long-term contract. So I have some hope for Harrison Barnes. I'm not saying he's 100% going to be here. I'm also not saying I'm 100% going to trade him. Going to kind of be a year-to-year thing with him. We got DFS behind him. I think Dorian Finney-Smith can continue to develop and probably be a pretty quality impact player for us here today. I ignored Dave Campbell. Finally, the power forward spot. Or not finally, I guess. The power forward spot. I'm a little torn on what to do here. Because part of me says that it would almost be like a moral sin to trade Dirk Nowitzki, which I think it would be. It really doesn't matter what his age is or what the team looks like. And I'm not really, you know, looking to do that. The problem is that he's making $25 million annually and he's pushing 40. He's not getting any better. He's going to do nothing but get worse. So we'll keep an eye on it. In all honesty, I hope he retires after 1 season just so we can go ahead, you know, have that cap space. Of course, in real life, he played a few more seasons and did end up playing a year with Luka Doncic, which I still feel like is crazy. I feel like I just don't remember that real era of Mavericks basketball. Dwight Powell is behind him, who actually at this point, in real life, is Dwight Powell the longest tenured Maverick in real life right now? I feel like he has to be, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. And then obviously 2 auto-generated players. And then finally the center spot with Andrew Bogut, who is the only real player at this center position. We'd certainly like to find somebody behind him who can at least fill in for maybe 1 season. But yeah, Bogut, 31 years old, 75 overall. Certainly not a long-term piece for us. So yeah, this roster's not very good. I don't really know what I was expecting. It was probably something like this. This was a 33-win team in real life. And I honestly do not know how much better it's going to be here in year 1. But that being said, we have some trades to get into before we kick this season off. We are going to be making a move before we start simming year 1, but it's not going to come via trade. We are going to be signing J.J. Hickson out of free agency. I'm sure many of you are aware. I don't love doing this, but I am going to explain why I'm going to do this in just a second. So J.J. Hickson, welcome to the team. Let me just explain to you my thought process on the way that we are going about this rebuild here for year 1. It's pretty rare I don't make any moves starting out, you know, year 1, especially with a bad team. But we have found ourselves in a rare case today where almost everybody's under a multi-year contract. Now, here starting at the point guard spot, obviously you can see Barea and Harris. You got Curry and Matthews, multi-year deals. It's pretty much everybody here. really outside of Bogut, who I don't really think there was going to be anything there anyways. So we're not going to make any other moves. I'm not going to lie to you. I tried to trade like Miles Bell and Randy Kerr, whoever the hell these people are, but there's just no value there. And that's kind of hard to, find something that's not there while not giving up future draft picks, which we're not in a position to do right now. So we made the move we did. It is what it is. Something else to note, our first round pick for God knows what reason is currently owned by the Philadelphia 76ers. Now it is lottery protected, so we're going to have to check the protections on what that is moving forward, because if you remember, obviously this pick was in the lottery in real life. They drafted Dennis Smith Jr. at number 9. And so 2K is going to say the 2018 pick's unprotected, which is not the case, because obviously Dallas had the pick where they originally selected Trae Young and then traded it to get Luka Doncic from Atlanta. So I'll look for an article that, goes over the protections on that pick in detail, but 2K's bullshit logic is definitely not going to screw me over here today. But if everything goes according to my plan, we are going to be a lottery team here in year 1, which, certainly possible. So let's hit that rotation. I'm not really sure what I think about this team. Part of me says we obviously have a lot of veteran talent, and we do have some proven winners with this group, but another part of me says I should have just stripped this thing down to the studs right now and traded away everybody. But we did not decide to go that route. I am curious what your guys' opinion is. When I do these historic rebuilds, or really any rebuild at that, where I find myself in a situation like we have today, where obviously I have, a franchise legend, the greatest player in franchise history here with Dirk Nowitzki, who may or may not retire after this one season. Do you guys care if I trade him? I mean, Mavericks fans might, but I don't know if the majority does. Like, if I traded Dirk right now, I'm telling you, there were some good offers out there that I intentionally did not take. So I'm just curious. If you guys have varying opinions, I'd love to hear it down below in the comment section. I know I've done it both ways in the past, and I get, varied feedback, but we'll see. JJ Barea, Wesley Matthews, Harrison Barnes, Dirk Nowitzki, and Andrew Bogut is our starting 5. Bench unit will be led by Seth Curry, Dwight Powell, JJ Hickson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Devin Harris. So, a lot of these guys are only going to be here for one season, even if they are on multi-year contracts. This is not going to look anything remotely similar to this time next year, but we got to kind of suck and bottom out until we want to get to the top. So, good news is we have a pretty decent head coach in Rick Carlisle. Now, his ratings don't necessarily reflect that, but shout out 2K, man. I'll just see you guys at the end of year 1. Here in 2K, we won 16 less games than this team actually did in real life. Yep, you heard me correctly. 17 wins is how this season went. It sucks. It is what it is. It is easily going to be our worst season, at least, I hope. Russell Westbrook, he's your MVP. Got Simmons winning Rookie of the Year. Lou Will, 6th man. Draymond D. Poy. Jokic, most improved. Mike Woodson, coach of the Clippers. Was Doc the coach of the... Yeah, no, Doc was the coach of the Clippers at this time. I thought so anyway. Maybe I'm losing my mind. I don't think Mike Woodson was ever a coach for the Clippers. Maybe I'm losing it. All right, we are obviously not in the playoffs. We had the second worst record in the West, at least. Wow, the bottom of this West is dreadful. And then here in the East. So we are, second worst team in the league according to record. And we'll just see the way this offseason goes, right? We're going to have a lot of decisions to make. You got Harrison Barnes here, 24 years old, 81 overall. Dirk Nowitzki, not necessarily completely washed, but, he's probably not going to be getting any better. JJ Barea was actually pretty solid with 14, about 3 boards, 7 assists a game. I mean, the shooting percentage is not necessarily great. 3-point percentage is awful, but as a facilitator, he did some things well. Wesley Matthews, Seth Curry, Powell, Hickson, Harris, Bogut, DFS. All right, rebounds going to be led by Bogut, and assists was Barea. So I don't know if this is going to be the only year we're not in the playoffs. As of recently, we've been kind of in the way that we've been going 2 years of sucking and then really turning it up for the 3rd year, but who knows the way we'll go today. Blake Griffin and the Clippers getting a championship, and Blake's your finals MVP. I love Blake, man. I wish that Lob City Clippers team could have got it done. All right, so most notably here for us is Dirk Nowitzki not retiring. So that's just going to extend the decision we have to make on him. To this point, I don't know what I'm going to do. If the right trade comes up, I may take it. I'd certainly, not pass on the opportunity if it does come by me, because I already did once and I don't really want to again. All right, we're projected to have the number 2 overall pick right now. Let's see what ends up happening. We fall to number 3, which isn't necessarily terrible. I do think I want to move up maybe 1 spot, and you'll see why in just a second. But staff signing here, Rick Carlisle's ratings are just really bad, and I'm not really sure what that is. I mean, the potential super, that's the ratings you would expect to see for a coach who's maybe mid to late 30s, early 40s. That's not really something you'd expect to see from Rick Carlisle at this point in his career. But I'm thinking I maybe go elsewhere. And it's not an indictment on Rick. It's really just 2K giving him bad ratings because I think Rick Carlisle has proven and had proven by this point that he was a pretty good head coach. So I'll offer Stauffer. It's not my first choice. I will try to get somebody else, but at worst we'll get him. Budenholzer wouldn't be terrible. I've gotten him maybe once or twice in the past, not super often. And then anybody else here? I see Quinn Snyder, who's certainly somebody I could be interested in. Mike Woodson just won a championship. I think I'll throw some money at Quinn Snyder as well. So hopefully just getting at least one of these guys. Okay, I have my choice between Snyder and Stauffer. I'm going to go Snyder, just because I get Stauffer so much. All right, let's approach the draft. It is 2017 draft, which is, Tatum, Mitchell, Bam, Fox, all those guys. We are certainly in a spot right now where we have some flexibility, but we also have some money tied up to some players. So what I do want to, consider is maybe moving up one spot with the Phoenix Suns. And the reason for that is because it guarantees me either Jason Tatum or Donovan Mitchell, which in this video, I'm going to try to get Mitchell. I would prefer him. I think shooting guard is a big position of need. Where small forward, we have Harrison Barnes, and I get Tatum a decent amount. So if I'm able to move up one spot and pretty much guarantee that, that would be, great. I don't know what it's going to take. They want Seth Curry for Dragan Bender. Gross. No. How about if instead I offer up, there's nobody here, is there? You want Mark Willis? You want my first and 20? No, not happening. All right, could I just get this done with like a bunch of second round picks? They want a first and 21. No, my God, I'm not giving you. If not, I'll just risk it. It's fine. It is what it is. Okay, they agree. All right, I'm hoping Donovan Mitchell doesn't go number one. Please don't screw me today. Fucking Celtics just always beating Dallas. I mean, for fuck's sake, Boston. I mean, really? And there's nothing here even being offered for. I can get it done. I know I can. It's just annoying. Seriously? There's no way for the Celtics to offer me Donovan Mitchell? Thank you. All right, I do not want to give up Barea. I don't want this. Just what is it going to take? Nothing? The problem here is I don't have a lot of future draft picks. They want Barea, and they'll give me an unprotected first next year from Brooklyn. All right, that's not actually terrible because that Brooklyn pick may be valuable. Brooklyn sucked at this point. I'm pretty sure anyways. Let me just confirm that the Nets are not good. They're not. All right, now the thing here is I think I could have gotten maybe something a little bit more or included Barea in a bigger trade package this offseason, but the fact that we're getting our guy here in the draft, who of course just went number one overall, and we're getting an unprotected pick next year from a team that quite frankly sucks, I think it's worth it to include him in this move. I mean, he was going to be traded anyways, most likely, so I can live with this. Welcome to the team, and are they going to take Tatum? They do, funny enough. Do not make him wear 45. That's disgusting. All right, Donovan Mitchell, welcome to the team. Super excited about that. Again, could have just gotten Tatum, but, as I mentioned, small forward's not the biggest position of need, and we've gotten Tatum in a decent amount of these videos. I'm going to bring back Devin Harris and Dorian Finney-Smith. All these auto-generated bums are free to leave my team. We have no qualifying offers here in free agency. I don't know if we have much money to spend. No, we don't. So we're just going to have to make some trades, which is certainly something I was looking to do anyways. Mavericks fans, if you guys want to end up being pissed at me, I fully understand. We are trading away the greatest player in the history of your franchise. And yeah, obviously not a move that most Mavericks fans would approve of, but I'm doing this from a logic perspective, not an emotional one. So I'm moving on from Dirk. It's something I did consider at the beginning of year one and ultimately decided against it. And Dirk is going to enter what very well could be his final season. And he's going to do that with the defending champion Los Angeles Clippers. So we're going to pick up DeAndre Jordan in this deal. Center was a huge position of need for us last season. Bogut's expiring, and we just needed a major upgrade. And DeAndre Jordan is obviously going to provide that. So not only the major upgrade, but we're getting an 87 overall player without giving up a single draft pick. So it felt like it was too good to pass up on, and it was. It really was. So DeAndre Jordan obviously had a short tenure with the Dallas Mavericks in real life. I believe it was about 50 games. It was not exactly perfect, but he is now here, and he is hopefully going to be somebody that can help lead this team to do really great things. So that is one move down. We are definitely not done. After trading away one of the greatest players in the history of basketball, we are now desperately in need of a starting power forward. Pascal Siakam is going to be the guy that we're making the move for. He's 23 years old. He is a 75 overall. Nowhere near as good as Pascal Siakam is today. But the good news about this is, of course, we get off the Wesley Matthews contract. Now, the bad news is we pick up the Damari Carroll contract, but that's not really the real reason I'm doing this. It's strictly to get Siakam, and I think he's going to be a good fit next to DJ in that front court. So at this point, we have 4 out of 5 starting positions filled out. It is going to be Siakam, Mitchell, Barnes, and Jordan. We're really just looking for a point guard. We also have some bench unit players that I think could end up being on this team. Maybe not not for the long term, but could definitely benefit us for another year or so. So I definitely need to find myself a point guard, whether that's clearing up cap space and signing one. I'm still TBD. We've about 15 million right now that we can play with, but there's nobody really here that I love. So we're going to figure out what we want to do here and then probably sign somebody. The Orlando Magic, for whatever reason, are willing to trade us their unprotected first in 2019, so not next year's draft, but the year after that, for DeMarre Carroll. Now, Carroll certainly could have been a nice impact bench piece, but we just don't really need him, and I certainly do not need the money that he is making, at least on our books. That's actually a Lakers unprotected first. Not bad. All right, we have some cash to spend. It's not like max contract money, nor do I think, Steph or KD or any of these guys would have came here, but if I could just sign somebody for like a 1 or 2 year deal. I know this is the same exact class I just got done saying I don't really love, but if I sign these guys to shorter term contracts, I think that'd actually be, pretty beneficial for us. So I'd give Rondo like 14 million annually. And then honestly, I'd also maybe bring in like Patty Mills on a 2-year deal. He'll be a little bit less, obviously. So if they're willing to do that, which they are, that's cool with me. So let's take a full look at this team right now. Of course, Rondo also had a Dallas Mavericks tenure that was not necessarily super successful. I know him and Rick Carlisle did not necessarily agree on a lot of things. But Rondo and Mills, we have Donovan Mitchell, Barnes, DFS, Powell, Siakam, Jordan, and then Hickson. So really right now, I just got to find a backup here for Donovan Mitchell. Guy like Dion Waiters, if I especially do like a 1 or 2 year deal, I think he'd certainly be willing to take that. At least I hope so. Cool. All right, what we're going to do right now is sim up to the start of year number 2. I think we'll be better than we were just a season ago. I don't think we're going to be contending or anything like that. And then I also want to figure out the protections on the 2018 Mavericks pick because 2K is going to say it's unprotected, where, of course, it certainly was not in real life. So I'll just see you guys at the start of year 2. Second season for us here in Dallas. This offseason was pretty busy. We ended up making some pretty crazy trades. Of course, the biggest being moving on from Dirk Nowitzki, which, again, I still understand people are going to have varying opinions about, and I don't necessarily blame you whatsoever. But we did the moves. They are in the past, and we now have at least a little bit more of a direction heading into our second season. Rajon Rondo, Donovan Mitchell, Harrison Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and DeAndre Jordan is our 1 through 5. Bench unit will be led by Dion Waiters. Got Patty Mills, Dwight Powell, J.J. Hickson, and Dorian Finney-Smith, of course, under new head coach Quinn Snyder. So, I don't know if this is a playoff team. It certainly could be. I would not be surprised if we maybe just missed out on being a top 8 seed, but anything could happen. These games surprises me, from time to time and pretty much on a daily basis. So I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. Right before we started simulating this season, I, said it clear as day. This game tends to surprise me a lot. And to say that this year 2 was a surprise would be maybe the understatement of the century, because this team won 66 games. I genuinely have no idea how, but it did. And of course, I'll take it. It's hard to explain. It's not a Cinderella run because it's going through 82 games. The Cinderella run is like March Madness. This is not a Cinderella run. This was just, excellence, I guess. And I don't really know how, but it's here. I'll take it. Oh my God. Russell Westbrook, he's your MVP. Lonzo Ball does win Rookie of the Year. Lou Will, once again, your 6th man. Kawhi is your depoy. Chris Dunn wins Most Improved. And Scott Brooks, 66 and 16, your Coach of the Year. I'm not really sure. Or 68 wins. Fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. God. I don't know. I genuinely do not know. I say things similar to this all the time, but I've put together some God squads in this game, and they haven't even come close to winning 68 games. Never mind, whatever the hell, a team led by Harrison Barnes in the scoring department. I don't know. Maybe we're just built really well, and that's going to be the thing I kind of go with, for now at least, but I'm shocked. I really, really am. So, yeah, we're in the playoffs, and obviously, and we have Minnesota here in round 1 who are playing Dwight Howard at the 4. They're, fits. That's certainly not a good one, but okay. Well, let's see what happens here. Are we too inexperienced, which is certainly a possibility in my mind? We sweep them. Now we're moving on to the defending champion LA Clippers, who should have an old friend here in Dirk Nowitzki. They do. So, yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen here. I think the Clippers are probably better than us. They're sure as shit more experienced than us. And I don't think we should be the favorites to win this series, but we're in the West Finals. I don't know. Your guess is, quite frankly, as good as mine. I don't know if the last time I've seen something like this. Now, Steph Curry signed with the Nuggets. So he's paired up with Nikola Jokic. So if you wanted to, torture yourself with the idea that this could have not actually been a possibility, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine this hypothetically. There's no way we beat Denver, right? I just don't see a possible way. Okay, now we're down 3-0. We do win a game here. We win 2 games here. No. What is going on? What is going on? Now, if I know anybody's going to put an end to this fuckery, it's going to be LeBron James. He's pretty good, if you didn't know. He obviously is Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, Thompson. You got Tony Allen, Iman Shumpert, Mo Williams off the bench. Nice veteran players right there. I don't think there's any way that we can do this, right? Okay, down 3-1. No. We're not serious right now, are we? What is going on? I mean, you come this close, win the fucking thing, right? Oh my God. Oh my God. We somehow outscored Cleveland 36-22 in the third quarter, which now gives us a 10-point lead here in Game 7. I'm like, I know I've said it like 16 times now, but I'm genuinely at a loss for words. Like, this team is not this good. Like, I don't know. Is there, something's going on here, and I'm not going to get to the bottom of it because I'm actually kind of enjoying it, but it feels like, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, and it just hasn't. We've overcome a 3-0 lead. We've overcome a 3-1 lead, and I'm not really sure what to say about it because, I said this game surprises me every single day, and it genuinely does, but this may be, the greatest surprise that I've ever seen. So I'm not really sure here. I'm just going to kind of try not to blow a lead like this because that would not be fun. Rondo just getting by Kyrie, gets the easy layup back to 10 as we approach 2 minutes to go. So, I'm just going to kind of enjoy it, I guess. I knew going into this season there was a possibility we were, back in the playoffs. I thought it would maybe be as like a 7 or an 8 seed. I didn't think 68 wins in a championship, a historic championship run at that, was going to come, but it did. And obviously we are, that's my fault. That's my man. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I mean, if they want to trade buckets, that's fine with me, but I'm not really sure. Like, I don't remember a rebuild like this. I've had some surprise championship teams, throughout these things, but this one feels like it's the greatest surprise of all. So I'm just going to enjoy it. DJ going, fuck. All right. I got to not fuck around because this is an 8-point game and LeBron and Kyrie are on the other side of this. So I'm going to almost chase the shooter off the line. Kyrie against Rondo is not my favorite matchup. Okay, good job getting around that screen. Kyrie going out, kicks it to LeBron, who doesn't take the open three. Oh my God. What is that? Are the Cavaliers drunk? What are they doing? All right, well, this is now down to a 6-point game, which certainly does not mean it's over. I think we are, going to waste clock, but of course we don't want to waste the possession, right? There's certainly a difference between the two there. So I'm going to continue to do what works here, and I'm going to play in the ISO right now on Kyrie. See if I can get by him. I cannot. We're going to go over here to Barnes, into the corner. Mitchell, a 3, gets it to go, and that is basically the nail in the coffin, my friends. That is a championship. Wow. I'll do one more defensive possession, just to be sure, but want to leave the starters in the game, obviously. I mean, this, if you do the math on the average overall in this starting 5, this would have to be the lowest I've ever had throughout a championship, right? It certainly feels like it would be that way. This is... What? Okay. It doesn't really feel like we just have the overalls, which, it's fine. It certainly happens, but... I mean, the highest overall player on this team is like an 87 overall DeAndre Jordan. And outside of that, it's Harrison Barnes, who's an 81. Rondo, I think, is around an 81. It's just, I don't know, man. I know I keep saying the same shit. I'm just kind of at a loss for words right now. So we're going to be winning this one, barring an epic collapse. That's terrible defense on my part. Kyrie smokes the fucking layup. Get the ball out of DJ's hands. And this one is pretty much over. So Kevin Love trying to play defense against Donovan Mitchell. Oh, we get to pick up the dribble there. Yeah, we're just going to continue to waste clock, get it under the 24, and yeah, pretty much good. DJ, you want to give me one more screen here, buddy? Roll to the rim. Jordan! Oh my God, good night. Well, it is over. It is over, and a historic run has come to an end, and Rajon Rondo is your finals MVP. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm almost right, because we were down 3-0 in this Denver series. We were down 3-1 in the Cleveland series, and we won them both. Your guess is as good as mine. Funny enough, Dirk still didn't retire, which I kind of feel bad about. Could have got Dirk a second ring, but maybe we just needed Pascal Siakam at our power forward spot. I don't know, man. We're going to send the lottery real quick. Oh, that Brooklyn pick could be valuable. I will read you this, which, is not exactly perfect, but it's an article back from 2017 from a website called the SixersSense.com, who obviously covered the Philadelphia 76ers, who originally owned our draft pick in 2017. Let me just read you this. Since the Mavericks are now eliminated from playoff contention, it is impossible for their draft pick to fall outside the top 16. Because of the conditions of the Mavericks' protected pick cannot be conveyed, the 76ers will instead receive the Mavericks' 2017 second-round pick and the Mavericks' 2020 second-round pick. Long story short, we have our first-round pick this year, which is typically how these things go if picks don't convey. It's just, 2 seconds, 1 second. Sometimes it's just extinguished. It is never typically just an unprotected first in the year after, but 2K is of the opinion that that is very common, even if it is not. All right, we're obviously hanging on to Quinn Snyder here. We have our own first-round pick this year, and then we have, of course, Brooklyn, who I believe I saw at number 10. So I'll actually draft somebody at 10. We could maybe use a bench pick. Actually, I'll just draft somebody at both spots. Why not? This is Luka and Trae Young and, all those guys. We're not going to get one of them, but we're going to get SGA, I guess. Who's my backup point guard right now? Who is backing up Rondo? Oh, we signed Patty Mills. I'm going to take SGA. That feels like a logical pick. He's nowhere near the SGA he is today, but you know what? He's still pretty damn good. And then how about a guy like Mo Wagner? D'Anthony Melton, it looks like he's the highest rated player, but Mo Wagner's fine with me. All right, welcome to the team. Going to be a 73 and 70 overall, respectively. DJ's going to decline. DFS will be brought back as well. I planned on making like a blockbuster signing here in free agency, and of course, that's just probably not going to happen at this point, given that this team won a championship, and there's really not a firm reason to make another... Oh, shit. Fuck. I forgot I only signed Rondo to a one-year deal. Oh, shit. Am I able to get him back? Okay, it looks like I am. I completely forgot I only signed Rondo to a one-year deal. All right, wow, that could have been a mistake, but no, we're going to bring him back, obviously. He just, led this team as a facilitator to a championship, and yeah, we'll probably see some regression next year, and I don't want to bank on the fact that this team will once again just have a dominant season and an unbelievable playoff run like that, but what else am I really changing right now? So I might have one move. I'm going to see if there's a way for us to acquire Markieff Morris here from the Washington Wizards. Now, he would not be in the starting lineup. He'd be the backup power forward, and you will, understand a little bit further in just a second. So, he's 3.5 stars for whatever reason, and the Lakers pick here is really valuable. And if this wasn't year 3, there's not a chance in hell I ever give all that up to get him, but it is, and it's fine. Which means Dwight Powell is just going to move to the center spot. He'll be the backup behind DJ. Not a super big deal. So, yeah, I think I could make some other upgrades, but at this point, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, it's crazy. We just traded for a second highest overall, and he's going to come off the bench. I'm confused, man. I'll just see you guys at the start of year 3. It is not often that I enter a final regular season with a team that looks like this, at least on paper. Now, this is not a bad team by any means, but my championship teams look a lot better, at least in the overall department. But, of course, we had a crazy run last year in the playoffs, and we won a championship. We overcame some crazy deficits, and we find ourselves basically running this thing back with the majority of the core. So, starting 5 remains exactly the same. Rondo goes down a couple overalls as expected. Mitchell goes up. We got Harrison Barnes, Pascal Siakam, DeAndre Jordan. Bench unit sees Markieff Morris take over as 6-man. Still got Dion Waiters. Drafted Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Got Dwight Powell. And then Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, again, I'm kind of shocked. I really am. I'm just still kind of confused about the whole way this thing's gone down, but I will certainly take it. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. Russell Westbrook has won 3 straight MVPs. He does it in a different jersey this time, as he has joined the Sacramento Kings, and yeah, not much has changed in his numbers. Our record was worse this year. Not significantly. No, we won 67 games. Last year, of course, won 68, and I don't know. I'm still confused. Trae Young wins Rookie of the Year. He's in Charlotte. You got Lou Will just running away with 6th Man of the Year once again. Kawhi still wins another DPOY. Cameron Payne, Most Improved, and Quinn Snyder finally getting that recognition he deserves as Coach of the Year. So, standings. We are 8 games up on Denver for the 1 seed here and 2 games up on Cleveland for the best record in basketball. So, can we get it done again? Can we go? I mean, Harrison Barnes is just a fucking god at this point, I guess. Can we go back to back? I think this team obviously has the experience now. I think the depth has certainly arrived, and I didn't think we'd get it done last year. Maybe this year, though. This team's really good. I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you, but I was nervous every round last year, but we're really good, and maybe there's something I'm missing that one of you sees. If there is, please let me know. I'm not really sure how this team has been able to do this. I mean, Quinn Snyder may just be the best coach in the history of basketball, but this team, I guess, just clicks together at the right point. We have not lost a playoff game yet. This team, obviously, here in Denver, who we played in the West Finals last year, was up 3-0 on us, and then they lost 4 straight games. So they're probably looking for revenge. I am looking to get back to the finals, though. And we have Well, we lost a game, but we're back in the finals. And we're running back to 2024 NBA Finals, my friends. Teams both look a little bit different at this time. If Tatum coming off the bench, this team is really good, as is pretty much every team we have faced so far. Split the first 2 at home, win game 3 on the road, tied at 2, go down 3-2, force game 7, and I'm not going to simcast it. I'm confident. I'm feeling good right now. Oh, there's no way. There is no way that this video is real. I refuse to believe it. I really do. Your guess as good as mine. This one was fun, right? I mean, I went into this one with, not no expectations for the team, but I really went into year 2 as like it was going to be, not a gap year, but it was just a year of development and a year of trial and error and really a stopgap season all along. And obviously turned into a championship that we decided to basically just run back for the 3rd and final season, and it ended up working out pretty well. It really did. So, yeah, this game continues to amaze me every single day. So, yeah, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Mavericks fans, how would you feel about that? If you traded Dirk and then won 2 straight championships, you'd be pissed, I think, but I think you'd get over it pretty quickly. I think so, anyways. Let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.